Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to today's presentation, today's GSD Daily. So today we have, we're going to be talking about something called conditional logic, which doesn't sound real fun, but it is once you understand how to use it to segment your prospects out a little bit better than what they are now. So, I seem to be a little grainy through the video here. I think I'm probably okay. All right. So those of you watching in the comments, do I look okay? Or is it like a little bit choppy? It looks choppy to me. I might look okay. I don't know. Might just be a computer thing. Anyway, so when you're pre-qualified, so this week we're talking about high ticket sales. We're talking about getting people to pay you lots of money for your services, whether that be coaching, consulting, digital products, upper end masterminds, like all of that kind of stuff. So at the end of the day, you want to make sure you get on sales calls with people who are willing and able to pay you money, for your thing, which means you need to pre-qualify them better than not, so you can't get on the phone with a bunch of people who are not able to, invest money in themselves, invest money in their transformation or their life or their business or whatever it is you sell. You can't get on the phone and just give a bunch of free advice every day, all day. At some point, you're going to need to make some money if you want to continue getting on the phone and giving advice. So, that's really, where some of the vetting comes in before they actually get to schedule a call with you. That's one of the reasons why like inbound marketing, it works so well, is because people come in, they come to us, they raise their hand and say, yes, I want more information. I want more, I just want more. I want to learn how to do this thing, or I want access to this thing, or I want to buy this thing. And then so they come in, we have a video or a funnel or a webinar or whatever, it doesn't matter, podcast, whatever. So we put this information out there, they listen to it, and then they, come deeper into the sales funnel. So that's what inbound marketing is. Now, eventually they're going to get to a point, in their journey that they need to take an action. And it needs to be not just a passive action, but something where they're actually filling in a form. So what a lot of people do is they just kind of have a calendar link, that is set up on their website, and somebody can go and book a call on their calendar, like a Calendly link or whatever, which is fine, and then they ask a couple questions, like the normal contact questions, which are first name, last name, email address, phone number, like that kind of thing. One of the things that we have been doing for the last couple of years is we'll actually have an application. So the application, whenever I tell clients that we're going to be using an application, normally what I do is you need to start with like first name, last name, email address, phone number. Those are the four big ones, of course. So you need that information in order to contact them. Because if they fill out the form, but then never book a call on your calendar, then you have no way of getting back in touch with them. So that's a problem, right? I mean, if you want to sell them something, you have to actually talk to them. So first name, last name, email, and phone number are the minimum. And then what I do is I have them, come up, or we come up, collectively with 4 or 5 additional questions. And those 4 or 5 questions are meant to get them talking about their business, talking about their life, talking about the thing that they want to change, so that we're able to better serve them on the call, because we only have one shot. Like yesterday, Patch was talking about, so like the sales reps. So sales reps, you have your setters and you have your closers. And the setter sales rep, their job is not to close the big sale. Their job is to very simply close the next call. And that's really what all marketing does. You're not closing a $500 product, like a sale, from a video ad on Facebook. What you are closing is the next thing, the next action you need somebody to take. So if it's an ad, the next action you need them to take is clicking through that ad to the landing page or to the sales page or the blog post or whatever. That's all the ad is supposed to do, is to get them clicking through to the next step. Then once they are on that next step, then that page, that page's job is to then have them read down the page, click the add to cart button. And then, so if the add to cart button is clicked, then that page did its job. Now they move over to the order form. And if the prospect puts their information in the order form and hit submit, that page did its job. So every piece of marketing, the only job of a piece of marketing is to get them to take the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. That's all marketing does. So when somebody is signing up for a call with you, and we put an application in the middle, and we make them apply and ask them questions, about their business and whatever else, then we want to use that information on the sales call, of course. We want to, but more than that, we want to be able to use the time to research and get our ducks in a row about that particular client, that call. The more information we have, the better. But the more information we have, the worse that conversion on that application might be. I mean, if you make a prospect fill out 20 questions and ask them all kinds of weird esoteric questions, and they're not going to follow through on the application. They're just not, so we found that 6 to 8 questions is perfect, so the 4 majors, first name, last name, email, phone. And then from there, you get into, usually there's one open-ended question. There is a couple that are multi-check boxes or select boxes, so very, very simple stuff. And then the last one is usually like some sort of a money question or a time question. So for example, it could be first name, last name, email, and phone. And then the next question is, what are you most interested in right now? So let's say we're looking at, a wellness coach. So what are you most interested in? What result are you most interested in right now? It could be losing weight, getting fit, having more energy, or sleeping better, let's say. So those are all related to a degree, but the goal, the aspirational thing is different. So you're going to approach each of those differently, but it's a drop down. So it's somebody picks one of those 4 options, moves to the next question. And maybe the next question is related. The next question ideally should be related to the one they just asked. So if their option was they want to sleep better, then what you do is you pop up another question that says, how many hours of sleep are you normally getting? 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, and then maybe another question that says, what is your problem with sleep? That's where the conditional logic comes in, because if you really want to drill down on a particular thing, and get a really intimate idea of what somebody is working with or struggling with or whatever, so you can talk about it on the phone or in a Zoom call or whatever, then having an understanding, having a deeper understanding than just a checkbox sometimes helps. So we are going, and then the last question is a time or money question. So, and the reason I try to include a time or money question typically is because the time or money question tends to dissuade tire kickers. So you can have an open-ended paragraph question that says, tell me a little bit about the problem, or tell me a little bit about what you're looking to do to solve, said problem. And then the time and money question is, how much would it be worth if you were to solve this problem right now? And then maybe a couple price ranges, or how much, if it's a business development thing, what is your ad budget? Okay. So by asking those kind of money or time, a time question would be, how quickly are you looking to make this change in your life? Or how quickly are you looking to move into a property? Or when do you need to secure financing by? Because those dates are largely driven by our decision that has already been made. So by understanding the decision, you're able to then sell to that decision. So that's the idea of forms and applications. We're going to go in. So I use a lot of different software for a lot of different things. I'm going to jump into one here. Let me just share my screen. So I'm going to share how I have ours for Done For You set up, including some of the conditional logic. And then I'm also we're going to talk about some of the other platforms that work out pretty well for the conditional logic piece. But what this ends up doing, if you do it right, then you can send people down a couple different paths. If they're really qualified for you, you can send them towards you. If they're not qualified for you, you can send them down a different way. And that different way might be affiliate products. It might be, a partner, or, another company that you own, or, so there's lots of different ways that you can kind of branch off based on how you structure this form. It's really, it's kind of an art all into itself. But we're going to just kick through some of the software that we like to use. So you're looking at Ontraport, which is one of the applications that we enjoy quite a bit. So I'm also going to pull up a couple other ones here. So woofoo.com is one that we like. It's a form builder, but it has some conditional logic, pieces to it. Then there's another one that is Jotform, also has some conditional logic pieces to it. There is Typeform. I think it's typeform.com. Yeah. The Typeform is really pretty. It's kind of set up like a chatbot. You can also do chatbots that do this kind of thing too, which is pretty cool. We've used Woofoo a lot. We've used SurveyMonkey. You can use. I would say for the most part, we'll use Woofoo. One of the reasons I like to do this as part of a CRM, though, is when all those form fields, they just get automatically shoved into your CRM. So all the contact information is put into the CRM. You can tie a Woofoo together or Jotform together with like a Zapier integration into your CRM. It's just a pain in the ass sometimes, because then you got to map the fields, and it's like when this contact record comes in, you got to put this field in this, whatever. It's just kind of a pain. It's easier sometimes. You just do it all in the CRM. So, but we're gonna log into Ontraport, and I'm going to show you how I have some of the conditional logic set up for us. So let me just jump in here. All right, so we're going to go to forms, and then we're going to kick around through. So we got some forms. All right, and then we're going to go to here. I remember where I put it. All right, here we go. So all right, so this is one. Let's see what this one is. So this is an application. It's a retargeting application. So if somebody comes in and so let's just go to the page so you can actually see what this looks like, and then we'll see how it's set up. That might be a really good way of kind of showing how this all works. Please make the screen bigger. All right. So is that good? Perfect. It's about as big as I can go though. All right, cool. So here, let's see if that takes away at all. That was weird. They put me out for a minute. But it looks like I'm still going. Okay, cool. All right. So we got big. All right, we got it bigger. Okay, so this is our website. We're going to go look at that retargeting form. So I think that retargeting form is under ad management and then retargeting. So we have individual sales pages for like all of like the kind of different disciplines that we do. And then underneath those disciplines is a form. And the form is specific to that discipline so that we can track what people signed up for, what they're interested in.
Do people leave your site without buying at an alarming rate?
We need to pause that
unless
video.
Your website is optimized.
There we go. All right. So here's the form. So this form is how it starts. So step one, fill out the form below. Now this form here, so we have your first name, your last name, phone number, and email. And then next step, click to schedule a call. So inside Ontraport, here we have, that's first name, last name, phone number, and email. So you can see that right here, first name, last name, phone number, and email, then the button. Now, if we look down all the way at the bottom, there is that button. Next step, schedule a call. So what that means is that all these fields right here only appear if one of the previous ones is set up. This is conditional logic. So watch this. If we go your first name, I'm just going to type your first name, that's going to be me. So Jason Trone, and then the phone number is going to be 555-5555. And then, so notice, nothing has popped up yet. As soon as I hit J, so I'm just going to drop my email address in here. Bam. The next batch of fields pops up. This isn't all of them, because as you can see in the form here, we have some more down here. We have those money qualification questions, you know, the big ones, the ones that are going to help us understand what we can do for this client. Everything above this is like, you know, okay, so tell me about your business or product name. All right, my business is DIY builds, you know, because it's a YouTube channel that we got going on. Now notice right there was where the rest of the other stuff popped up. So as soon as you enter your business or product name, then it pops up. We're going to do that again. So, or we can do done for you. And then as soon as we go to the website, bam, yearly revenue. So we're going to do website is done for you. And then Skype is going to be, I don't know, whatever. What can we help you with? And so then tell us about your business, yearly revenue, digital ad spend. So boom, boom, boom. Now, next step is to click to schedule a call. So this is the application. This is the application. And as soon as we hit submit, then we go off to the scheduler. So this is the scheduler. Call with me. You know, sign up for call with me. There's a couple times available, you know, nothing crazy. So actually, what is crazy is I have no bookings until next Thursday. That is crazy. So that's all in all, that's how it works. Now, if we wanted to, so we're going to go back to the previous page here. Now, if we wanted to only,
do people leave your site without buying at an alarming
autoplay
rate?
There we go.
Unless your website is optimized.
All right. So if we wanted to, let's say we've got, does the schedule come up on its own in the safe software? So the schedule can be anything you want. That particular schedule that that you just saw is a piece of software called Pipedrive. You can use Calendly, you can use Time Slots, which is ours. You can use any scheduler you want. You know, it's just all it is a form, you know, that pushes off to a scheduler. So then we have your first name, last name, phone name, email, business name, website. So and then the reason I wanted to fill this in was because, so tell us about your business, product, or idea. So let's say your yearly revenue is 5 million and above, you know, so right here, we can actually make this a qualification question. So if your yearly revenue is above $1 million a year, so you pick $1 million to 5 million or 5 million and above, then it goes to my closer sales rep, let's say. Or if you pick anything under $1 million in yearly revenue, then it goes to some sort of a nurture sequence or a warm-up campaign or a digital product or whatever. I don't have that qualification set up here. I do know a lot of people who do. A lot of sales guys, they end up having some sort of a qualification, question, Now the argument can be made both ways. I've been doing this a long time. So I have seen some really, really crazy things on these forums. I've seen a lot of people, very qualified business owners, who don't answer this form truthfully. They don't go through and actually apply the way they should. They don't. So their yearly revenue might be $5 million or $3 million or $10 million or $50 million or whatever, but they just don't want me to know that. So they pick, just starting off or whatever, like 100,000 to 300,000 now, which means that, and then we've ended up doing a lot of business together, which means that if I would have bounced them off into like a less qualified pipeline, I may have missed out on that opportunity. But in the same breath, if somebody goes through and applies and answers an application untruthfully, do you want to work with that person? So there's two sides of that coin. You just kind of have to think about what makes the most sense for you if you're going to do this kind of conditional logic in these forms. So it's up to you. I take everybody's calls because I know that I do daily live streams for the same reason. Like, I know that there are things that I know that will come out and will be able to help somebody, just, even if it helps them get a little tiny bit farther in their digital business today, which is the point of GSD Daily, get shit done daily. If we can just move a small little minuscule amount forward today and a little bit forward tomorrow and a little bit forward the next day, then we're going to be that much it's going to have a meteoric difference, a dramatic difference in our business and our lives in next to no time. So if I can help anybody, I do, I try, so that's why I take everybody's calls. But if you are a busy sales guy and you only want to take very, very, very well qualified people, then this is how you do it. So if they pick 500 to $1 million and the digital ad budget is, let's say 1,000 to 2,500 a month, and then they hit next step, they might go off to like a different kind of form or something. So a different email sequence. So it's just something to think about there. Now, in the setup piece of it, we're going to go kick back over here into Ontraport. In most of the tools, Wufoo has this. It's called Conditional Logic, or it might just be logic or logic based. Jotform has it. Typeform has like some conditional logic pieces, but here's how it works. So most of them have like this. So in Ontraport, this thing is called conditions. So if you look at the conditions, we have now show, hide, form fields. So if you don't have to be a programmer to understand this, but basically it's an if this, then that statement. So it's if this happens, then do that. So if like here, the statements are really pretty simple. There's a lot of entries here, but the statement basically is, if an email address is entered, show the next 4 questions. Or 5 questions. So if the email address is entered, show business or product name, website, Skype, this drop down here, and then I think it's tell us about your business. And then, so we're going to actually see what that looks like. So show, hide, so show when you hit, let's see, show email list size when the business or product name is not equal to blank. So as soon as that business or product name, as soon as you enter any text into that thing, whenever it's not blank, then the other questions fire out. There's all kinds of different conditions you can apply to this thing. So let's just go down here and write one. So we're just going to go and write a rule. Here's that redirect on submit too. So we're going to write a rule. I think I'm just going to jack this form all up. So what condition do we want to write? So the form condition, if yearly revenue is equal to, let's say, contains 5 million and above, then we want to hide our email list size. So let's try that, because it's just kind of an arbitrary thing. So if our yearly revenues is 5 million and above, then as soon as we pick 5 million and above, that email list size is going to go away. It's just an arbitrary thing, just to kind of show you how this all works. So we're going to go ahead and hit save, and then I'm going to hit done, and then I'm going to save this form. And this form is going to auto update because I think it's a JavaScript form, so it should just be fine. I think I set it up a long time ago. So, all right. So we are going to, there we go. We're going to reload the page. We're going to go.
Do people leave your site without buying at an alarming rate? Do people?
All right. So pause that. We're going to add here, and then we're going to add a business name, anything. Now, yearly revenue. So this ideally, when I hit 5 million or above, then this email list size field should just vanish. It should. So let's see if it works. So 5 million and above, gone. So now it just moved it away. It just took it off. So if we do 1 million to 5 million, it's going to add it back. So now it added it back. So that's conditional logic. Now watch this. So let's say we have, which one was that? That was the retargeted sequence. Yep, retargeting application. Okay, cool. Now, so we just added that little conditional logic statement in. Now let's look at another one. So hide email list size. So we're just going to remove that. But what I do want to do is I want to redirect on submit. So that I think that's going to be really important for you. So if yearly revenue, we've already tested this form, and the form goes to our Pipedrive application, our call scheduling application. But check this out. If yearly revenue contains less than $100,000, and we're going to do or. So, yeah. So if it's less than $100,000, then redirect the user to done for you. We're just going to send them right back to the home page. So, okay. If yearly revenue contains less than $100,000, redirect them to doneforyou.com. So we're going to hit done. So we're going to just check that. Okay. So it's right down there. We're going to we're going to save this again. We're going to refresh. So we already tested it, and it was going Pipedrive. So now it's going to redirect right to the home screen if they're make less than $100,000. So we're going to go ahead and add this, and then the business or product name, and then all that is good. I think I do need a website. Yearly revenue is going to be less than $100,000. Digital ad budget is going to be 0 to 99. $999, and then 0 to 2,000. So because this is less than $100,000, when I hit next, I should go to the home page. I did. I went to the home page, right? So this person is unqualified. They go to a different page. So that's how conditional logic works. Does that make sense? Do you like that? Okay, cool. So using conditional logic, you are able to do some pretty cool stuff in directing people where they need to go and making sure that only the most qualified applicants, only the most qualified people get to talk to you, get to hit your sales sequence, or actually jump on the phone with you, or take up some of your time. Same with your sales reps. You only want your most qualified prospects to get to your sales reps. Then this is how you do it. You set up a conditional logic application or a conditional logic form that redirects everybody into that, and then you're good from there. So I think, anybody have any questions? If you have any questions at all, you can drop them in the comments. You can also go to doneforyou.com/start, and we fill out the little form. Well, you're going to fill out a form just like you saw here. I don't think it has conditional logic, but all it leads to my calendar. So, and what we'll do is we will end up going through, talking about your application, talking about what you're selling, your business, your traffic, all that, sales funnel, all that stuff, putting together an action plan for helping you sell more on autopilot, whether it's paid traffic or organic traffic or email or whatever. But go to doneforyou.com/start. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And tomorrow is Friday. We're going to talk about something else cool. I'm not sure yet. So we'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks. Bye. Oh, there was somebody that said, will this session be on your Facebook afterwards? Yeah, it will be. So this session is in our Facebook group, and it's in the it's in the traffic group, the funnels group, and on our Facebook page too. So it's also on YouTube. So wherever you want to check it out, you can jump in. Cool. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Thanks.